Children of generation, of every nation, kingdom come. Don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth. God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where our help comes from. Hey! Oh, 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 Jesus, our redemption, our salvation is in his blood. Jesus, light of heaven, reign forever, his kingdom come. Don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth. God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where our help comes from. Oh, all you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All his children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. Oh, swing wide, all you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. On creation, everything with breath, the sound. All his children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. Oh, you're never gonna let me down. 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 Yeah. You're never gonna let me down. No, you're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let
was reeling in this big old whopper, right? I looked left, looked right, looked left. Then I reeled him in, and then I grabbed him by his neck, and I just kind of stared at him for a second. He looked at me, and he said, "That's the best hook I ever tasted."
Of course he didn't.
Round the juice like the fools that goof. When you snooze, you lose like the last caboose. Between me and you's, there's no way to do. And that's what you do. What are you doing?
There's a story of that day. It was dark, and there were 3. I knew it was the chosen one, and it was my last chance.
It's interesting, because when you and I got together, and we talked to your mama because it suppressed the episodes for you.
It's true.
Are you wearing your diaper right now?
Oh my gosh! And I felt something coming through. It was awesome. Incense, and at the same time, and then it's back like a sea ship. And inside you have no idea that there I was. All the neighbors, all the guys, all there. The Festivus was going on. All these blokes doing their part. When I came to the stage...
This is the mission. It is imperative. And what's the mission? The mission is to take the gospel to all around the world. And he said for, and that sounded impossible, but for that to happen, he said that it was imperative that we had to be in unity. And finally your butts happy.
What's going on, guys?
Hey guys.
That's my time to speak. That was on the
You
script.
didn't introduce me.
Well, that's because you're not. Okay. Ready?
Hey guys, I'm Robbie.
And I'm Graham.
2020, am I right?
Don't. She told me she was going to start that way. I was like, don't do that. I don't know what to say to that. We are excited that you're with us today because we're doing like a 2-part. We're recapping 2020 and everything cool that happened in 2020, and really, despite it being just the most perplexing year, God showed up in such an incredible way, and we're looking forward to 2021 and all that God is going to continue to do.
That's right. And so I know you watching, I'm sure you can come up with so many different words. Have you ever done a word of the year?
No, but it sounds like a good idea.
Well, I know I have, and we like to tease that 2020 was the year of clarity, right? For me, it was for sure eye-opening in so many ways. And when I say eye-opening, I think we were exposed to so many new things, all of us personally, here at Shoreline, in our community. We all experienced collectively so many new things. But what I want to celebrate when it comes to that is, you know, when you're exposed to something new or you experience something new, you grow up just a little bit more. Yeah. You mature a little bit more. And I'm excited that we're not crawling to the finish line. We're not crawling to the end of this year. We're actually walking a little bit more confidently. And my faith is built up a whole lot more.
Yeah, I'm not cool enough to already have a word. Maybe my word is unprepared. But if I was going to have a word, I think this year has fostered dependence a lot. You know, in a year that's so unpredictable, or you're not really sure what's coming or even what's going on ever, that you're just a little bit more out of answers and open-handed to how God would direct. And it feels like I've been that personally. More we have been as a family, and we have been as a church. Just when you are all out of answers, then you are searching maybe harder than you ever have before. There's 2 of our values that I think this year have maybe shown up more than ever before.
Yeah, so you have to stretch those muscles.
Yeah, one was creativity, and then the other was risk. And I just thought it'd be so easy to crawl in a hole and just make excuses, but we really stepped into creativity and risk in some cool ways in this past year.
Oh yeah, for sure. We doubled down when it comes to our risk and creativity. This is something that we've been dreaming about and praying about for years now, but this past summer we got to have church at Crab Island. Who would have thought that we could, hook up some boats and anchor down right here in the heart of Destin and have church on the water.
Yeah, really.
In swimsuits.
Nothing we've ever done before. just saw the need and went for it.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
people are, retreating, we actually, it took us to our roots. Many of you might know or you might not, but one of our founding scriptures for Shoreline is Luke 5, and it's like where we need to launch out, and we actually got to do that.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
It's like such a full circle moment. We also had church at AJ's this summer, and it was such a great opportunity to connect with the local service industry. That is our heart.
Yeah.
If you know,
That's the heartbeat of our city.
seriously, it's the heartbeat of our city, and it's something here at Shoreline we care so much about. We care about the local culture so much, and so we sent the coolest team down to be a part of that launch team at church at AJ's, and there's so many amazing stories of people that got to experience Jesus or got to experience church in a new way.
Yeah, earlier when you said the word was clarity, I thought when our methods change, then what we actually get clarity on is our values.
Yeah.
It's like we have to sift through how we do
Yeah.
things and really get down to the why. And so in every area of our church, we got to abandon methods because they didn't make sense anymore and say, how do we have community in a socially distanced era? Like, how do we have these different things that we care so much about? And so what we wanted to do right now is kind of take this tour through the different departments of our church and listen as they talk about how the methods have shifted, but those values have remained the same as God continues to lead our church. So check these out.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Quinn. I'm the worship pastor here at Shoreline. I think I went into 2020 hopeful, just like most people. I don't know if it's something about like hitting another decade, but it just felt like this is going to be amazing. It's a whole nother time, whole nother season. People made a joke like this was going to be the year of clarity. And I was like, man, I wonder what's going to be made clear. When COVID happened, we took the stance that we were going to make obstacles opportunities. So I think for a lot of people, the sentiment is like, what are we going to do? For us, it was like, what are we going to do? This is exciting. And one of the best moments that I saw that happen was Easter. Normally we decorate our building, everything looks dope, and we invite people into this space that we've crafted and created. And we actually, before we went into quarantine, we had some really sweet plans, but because we couldn't do it in the building, it sort of forced us to dream way bigger. And one of my favorite things was that we took our Easter service outside in Mike Holmes' backyard, and we did a one-take, one-shot Easter service. I can't begin to express how fun it was to plan that, how it forced us to problem solve in some ways that we haven't, and to use that spirit of innovation that's very natural to our community. And everybody pulled their weight. Everybody really went after it and crafted this really incredible moment that we'll be able to look back on and celebrate. Another thing I really thought was cool was this being in quarantine and having to figure out new ways to do church. It made us rethink our format. So normally when people come to church, they hear one person speak. And we started to see that when there's one person and one camera shot, that maybe it's not always as engaging as you hope it would be. So we thought it would be cool to kind of do like a podcast style and have a conversation. And I love that so much because I think it kind of opened up a sense of community. You have two people talking about something, and that conversation rolls over into people's living rooms or office space or dens or wherever they're watching. Some people are watching from their cars, and it's almost like they got invited into a conversation. And man, that was powerful. From the worship band perspective, the stuff that we were doing with the worship band, one of the things that we got to do is make worship videos, and they just happen to be really fun and interesting to make, and I think they turned out really cool. So finishing out 2020, I think it's really safe to say that we really did make some obstacles, opportunities. And in 2021, I hope that we can continue on in a spirit of innovation, because I think the canvas is still white, and I think there's so much new to come. I think that God is always showing us new things and inviting us into new things. And that's what's cool about a relationship with him is this constant revealing or premiere of new. And I love that in my relationship with God and in my relationship with the church, that we get to share that with the world and just add beauty and fun and healing into sometimes what feels like a big struggle for everybody. So in the middle of the struggle, there's so much hope in future. And that's what I'm looking forward to multiplying in 2021.
And cut.
Hey, my name is Jessica, and I am the outreach coordinator here at Shoreline Church. So thinking back on 2020, some of the words that really stick out to me are different. It was definitely a different year, and it was also kind of a perspective realignment year for me personally and for us as a church. I really feel like we were able to kind of come back to those core values and what we were passionate about. I definitely had a different viewpoint heading into 2020 with the lockdown that happened in our community, because I was actually on maternity leave. So when everything shut down, I was home with our new baby girl, and our church was doing great things in our community, and it killed me because I literally couldn't be a part of it. They were serving pizzas to boat captains. They were painting the walls of our physical building. Love Your Neighbor became such a big part of what we were doing in a physical way. We had t-shirts, and we were just loving our neighbors because that's what we got to do during that time. We did an opposite offering, I guess. So you would go to a church where usually you give your tithe and help to allow the church to do things in the community. Well, this time we did an opposite one where we did a Love Your Neighbor challenge, where we were able to distribute just random amounts in envelopes to challenge people to be a blessing to others so that they could continue to spread that joy and to love their neighbors irrationally. And with irrational generosity, that's what it is. It's doing things that don't make sense. It's being generous in a place that might be uncomfortable, but allowing it to grow. And that's something that really happened, I think, in 2020 that I will continue to lean into for 2021 is generosity. Something ignited in this town and over the globe. Yes, there was darkness, but light always overcomes the darkness. And that's what's happening. And that's what I'm going to lean into for 2021 is being the light of the world and just shining bright for others and continuing to be that irrational generosity. So I'm going to lean into just being generous where it doesn't make sense, just the way, it's irrational. And so for sure that will be my 2021 wish and hope, and something that I am looking forward to being a part of. Ministry and series. Hi, I'm Caroline Hare, and I'm the Next Gen pastor. Man, this year has been a whirlwind. I started back in June, and what a joy it has been to be a part of this ministry and this team. Starting in June, we've had some different circumstances with this whole COVID thing, but the amazing part was we've been able to re-engage our families and our students, even in the midst of that. So all summer long, we met together as a student ministry out in the community. We spent time at Paint Wars at the park doing walkouts where we went roller skating and tag and trampoline parks and all over the place all night long. Then we spent time hammocking on the beach, spending time together, building relationships. We figured this is the best time to rebuild relationships as we head into the new year. Then as we started the fall season with our families, we actually launched a whole new ministry program, and it was for our tween ministry for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. So every week we were meeting all fall, having worship,
games, small groups, and then we continue to do that for the middle school and high school as well. This fall, we also launched a Bible study that meets on Wednesday mornings for middle school students, where they dive into the Word just like you do with your daily soap. And so we would meet at Starbucks at the Destin Commons and let middle schoolers walk to school. Even when we took a brief pause in November, the students still met on their own and continued diving into the Word together. That is the type of ministry that we want to see happening all the time. And so it's been such an exciting journey. We've even had guys and girls events. We've been able to do a Next Gen dinner. We closed out this year with a Next Gen dinner with our volunteers for children's and youth ministry. And just being able to hear the testimonies of what God is doing in these ministries is remarkable. We have managed to be able to reduplicate and flourish in the midst of a transition year. As we look forward to 2021, we are so excited about what's ahead. We have a couple new people coming on our team that are ready and excited to join and be a part. We spent time ending the year in planning our series for the fall and for the spring and for the winter with our students, as well as outreach events to re-engage families and connect them. We are so excited for 2021, and we can't wait to engage with you and your families.
Do I wait for you to say action?
Action.
Let's start over.
Sorry, I didn't know what he's doing.
Good morning, Shoreline. Welcome. We're so glad that you're tuning in with us this morning. This is my wife, Darlene.
Hi, good morning.
And I'm Eric. We hope you had a Merry Christmas, and we hope you're enjoying your Sunday at home with your family. I know that we are, so we're really excited about that. And here it is, the last Sunday of what many might describe I don't know, how would you describe a 2020?
I don't know. It was definitely like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it was a hard year for many people. If I had to describe 2020, in just one sentence, I'd say I saw the faithfulness of God.
Yeah.
Really did see the faithfulness of God in our ministry, in our family's life, in the life of Destin, in this community. I saw this community rally around during the shutdown and feed the boat captains and feed the people who worked in the service industry.
Yeah.
We saw so much generosity as gifts were given went to other people. So I was really, really excited about the year that way. I also want to say how proud I am to be a part of Shoreline Church.
Me too.
Because of what we got to witness during 2020. We got to see the faithfulness of people as well. We got to see the generosity of people. We got to see innovation, creativity. It wasn't just from our staff and volunteers who were amazing because we had to pivot so quickly, with the shutdown and suddenly we can't have church, and within a week we're digital, and we learned a lot from the digital just being thrown into the pool on that one.
Yeah.
But it made me proud to be part of Shoreline, made me proud to be part of our community as you guys volunteered, fed people, you gave, you worked, you served in a time when a lot of people's faith was shaken. And I just want to say thanks.
One of the things I really loved about it was that people were being the church.
Yes.
By doing things on their own, because we had some organized opportunities to do some outreach, but actually so many people just on their own were doing, taking care of their neighbors, taking care of their friends, just making sure that, Jesus was being seen at that time and the love of God was being seen during a time that was really challenging where a lot of people might not have hope. So I think part of our vision, reviving hearts, I really believe we revived some hearts this year. That Shoreline Church, everybody who's a part of it, grab the heart of God and revive the hearts of the people.
That's so good. We were able to make an impact with Church at Crab Island.
Yeah.
We were able to make I love, because I went to school with Alan Laird, who owns AJ's, and I just feel like Jesus going, hey, launch your restaurant out into the deep and let's go fishing.
Totally.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
That's exactly what we did with AJ's. And what we see is that we see more of that in 2021.
Yes.
We see being an impact on our community, on our harbor. We see, read our vision statement. What is it?
It's to revive hearts, restore hope, and to revitalize culture and bring Jesus and his church to the front and center of everyday life.
So what does that look like?
Well, I think that's what we're talking about, is bringing Jesus and his church to the front and center of everyday life. What does that mean? It doesn't necessarily mean when we say the church to the front and center, that's us. That's the mobilization of God's heart for people. That's us carrying God's mission to people so that they can understand the word of God, they can know Jesus, and they can live the best life possible.
We talked about that God gave us a larger footprint or presence
Absolutely.
Because of
This
COVID.
last summer, yeah.
Can you imagine the presence that we'll have when our tourist industry is changed from the inside out, the people
Yes.
who work the industry, and they have an impact on the people that go back? Because they say there's 10 million people that live within 8-hour driving distance. That's why Destin is such a popular place. Imagine people whose lives are not just impact because they go on vacation, but they come here and they meet God and then they go back home.
You're gonna cry. You're
Well,
so
no,
sweet.
I'm saving that for Graham.
Okay,
I'm
but
saving
what
that
is
for Graham.
what the other cool thing about that is not only we're reaching our community, but we're reaching the world. We have our own mission field at Crab Island. Crab Island actually is not so much about the people who are here, except for the influence that we have with the people who are here working in the industry. But the people go home with what they've received there. And so that's a mission field. We're like reaching the nation by having church at Crab Island.
So here's my encouragement to you as we go to 2021. 2020, I wasn't just proud of our volunteers and our staff. I was really proud of everyone who calls themselves a shoreliner because, you know, even though our attendance dropped down when we came back into the building, our giving never did. So there's a group of you guys that have been super faithful.
Thank you.
And we appreciate that. Now I'm
Yeah.
going to cry. But I believe that 2021, we're going to have the same opportunities, but we just have to be ready. And I think about the parable that Jesus told about the virgins who were waiting for the 10 virgins, and 5 of them had oil in their lamps and 5 didn't, waiting for Jesus to come back, or waiting for the bridegroom to show up. And the analogy was you never know when Jesus is going to come, so you just need to be ready. I think 2021, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's around the corner. We just need to be prepared. So stay connected to God, be flexible, be ready. And I really believe 2021 could be our best year yet. And it'll enable us to live our best life. So,
That's right. I love that.
love you guys, and we'll see you. Shall I say the cliche thing? See you next year.
Wow. I can't help but look around and think about what a great year that it has been here. I can't help but just be super proud about the type of community that we have created outside of our building. Now, our building is a great place. It's an awesome place for us to gather, and we've been doing that for the last few years since we've been here in this location. But our desire has always been to really be beyond those 4 walls. And because of circumstances this year that were completely unexpected, we got to do that. It's almost like we had to do that. And I feel like because we had to do that, it was almost like the way you would maybe help your kid ride their bike. You start pushing them and helping them along the way, and then eventually you let go. I feel like God just kind of let go. And we learn new things, Some of the challenging things of the year, though, obviously, was the COVID situation, the pandemic, something that we never expected. But I think what we learned through it is that we get to keep going and that God is always with us. And I don't feel hopeless. Like maybe in the beginning of the year, I felt a little hopeless, but I think I've learned through that to really trust God and have a sense of hope. And I hope that I've restored hope in other people as well. I hope that moving forward into 2021, that we make a difference in the city that we love, that we continue to cultivate and build upon what we learned from this year, that there's ways that we can reach people that we never thought of. There's way that people can hear the good news of Jesus and they can connect with his love and with hope in a way that they never thought they could, and so much of it has become new to us. I can't wait to see what that could look like in 2021. So I think what really motivates me is to know that, it is not what we do all the time that's important, but it's who we are, and I couldn't be prouder of who we are as a church and who you are and what you represent. What we're a part of is bigger than the part we play, but the part you play, I hope that you see how valuable that it is. So I hope that you'll consider, just like I'm considering right now, how I want to end my year with generosity and how I want my financial giving to make an impact as we begin this new season. And also just want to say thank you for giving and being a part of everything that Shoreline is over 2020, but for you to prayerfully consider what is 2021 going to look like? And how could God use you? And how could you be a part of his plan as we bring Jesus and his church to the front and center of our everyday lives?